Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Dwelly and I will be presenting to you my final project for computer science, Innovation and Access to Information via Technology. I wanted to narrow down this broad topic to specifically mention technology and how it relates. My reasoning behind this is because technology is everywhere, and when researching, I found there to be controversy regarding it. Just to give a general outline, I'm going to start with the introduction, where I'll simply introduce the topic and why I chose it. I'll then show a video I created of some of my friends' thoughts on different computer science topics. Next will be the background information. I'll describe certain terms that I learned in computer science and explain how they relate to my final topic. I also engaged in a lot of computing when researching and developing my topic, so I'm going to tell you just how this was done. Third, and the real meat of the project, is my analysis of innovation and access to information via technology. I'll make some original points that I developed and also found through research. And in addition, I'll explain the controversy associated with having so much information available at your fingertips. Data findings will be represented in the form of charts and graphs throughout the presentation, but more specifically in the analysis section. My webpage and a relevant webpage will also be featured. I'll end my report with a quick summary and conclusion, and also cite my sources through references. The world is ever changing. There are constant new ideas to improve lives created by engineers. Innovation starts with education. Going to school can enable one to have knowledge that they otherwise wouldn't obtain. A study done by the Institute of Education Sciences states that in 2014, some 21 million young adults will attend college. That number is 5.7 million students higher than it was in 2000. Those attending school now are the ones who founded the social media technology movement. The millennial generation, or those born beginning 1980 and ending in the 2000s, are some 77 million strong in the U.S. The baby boomer generation is currently adapting to these technological developments and often stress over their use. Here is a video of a few of my friends' opinions on technology, as well as my own.
When did you start using a computer?
I had a computer all my life. Ever since I used to play video games when I was younger, and The Sims, pinball.
Why do you typically use your computer?
I use my computer for everything, from research to emailing teachers to finding homework for classes, doing homework, Facebook, social media, find music, listen to music, find new songs.
What are some pros to having access to information so readily?
It makes doing homework a lot easier, and I can find questions on the spot.
And what are some cons?
Like when the military or somebody released all those military files, and everyone had access to government information that was supposed to be secret.
What kind of a computer do you have? I have a MacBook Air. Do you like it? Yeah, it's compatible and it won't ever crash, so it's safe. Have you ever had a PC? I did have a PC, but it was a lot to carry around and it was really slow and got a lot of viruses.
Computer innovation has allowed me to access many different tabs at one time, like Netflix, Facebook, and even my homework. Just as a reference, I wanted to include some basic terms that have been mentioned multiple times in my presentation. Innovation refers to something new or something introduced. Computing is the use of a computer to process data or perform calculations. HTML, or also called Hypertext Markup Language, is a set of standards, a variety of SGML used to tag the elements of a hypertext document. It is the standard protocol for formatting and displaying documents on the World Wide Web. Finally, an IP address is a code that identifies a computer network or a particular computer or any other device on a network, consisting of 4 numbers separated by periods. I got all of these definitions from dictionary.com. I used computing to research my project. Computing greatly impacts innovation and access to information via technology. In week 0, I began to learn about cyber networks. Cyber networks support communication as well as collaboration. Through research, I viewed others' web pages, or in other words, their communication to the world. The Internet encompasses modern computing. In Week 5, I was introduced to the basic algorithms of the Internet. The Internet has a profound impact on society. The computing behind it has taken countless hours to create and is still being worked on and improved today. Week 5 also taught me about my computer and the information that it contains. The innovative ideas required to create such a complex instrument would not be available without computing. Google's search engine was explained in Week 6. I effectively found results by understanding the computing behind Google. I also performed good searches by utilizing first-order logic. Finally, I learned about how to use HTML language in Week 8. I created my web page by using HTML language. This web page is an example of innovation I use to give others information about technology. Through my research, I found that technology created by computing can be helpful or harmful. Having access to information so easily is a controversial topic. The Internet is used daily by many and would not have been possible without computing. It's a complex instrument that many believe is difficult to understand, but it can be a powerful tool if utilized and correctly understood. I will explore both sides of this controversial topic. A study done by Nielsen found that 74% of the millennial generation believes that technology is helpful, while the other 26% believe that it is not helpful. I created this pie chart just to give a visual representation of the data. The millennial generation are the first to come of age with cell phones, the internet, and cable TV. They feel comfortable around these things. This comfort makes obtaining information that much easier for the millennials and other technology users. Innovation at Google has allowed for access to helpful information. I recently received an email that someone tried to sign into my email from an unknown location. Google gave me the IP address of that location, of which was different than the one that I belonged to. To secure my account, I changed my Google password. I used technologies learned in this computer science course to help me understand that I needed to change my Google security. While many believe that technology is helpful, others such as Harvard graduate and American writer Nicholas Carr find consequences from our dependence to computers. He believes that having the internet as quick access to information is actually changing the way our brains work. His book, The Glass Cage: Animation Among Us, explores this controversial hypothesis. Some people believe that technology and the internet hold too much information. It's difficult to go even a day without checking email or messages because there's an associated out-of-the-loop feeling. Technology could also potentially create laziness if not used to the full potential. To further highlight my research project, I made a website that has lots of information about my topic. Scrolling through the website, I have different links that you can click on, direct you to a different website. I have contact information, as well as my JavaScript project. On my website, clicking on Final Project Research brings you to information I wrote about innovation and access to information via technology. Here you can see my pie chart, as well as other data to represent findings that I found when creating my research project. When researching for my project, I found this website, Nielsen.com, to be very helpful. There was a lot of information about the millennial generation, as well as statistics as to how many of them there are and how many believe that technology is helpful. To conclude my presentation, I want to emphasize my main point. It's inarguable that information through technology has created a wonder of opportunities and saved lives. I learned many computing concepts in Computer Science 101, and knowing these concepts has given me a greater appreciation for technology. Having access to an abundant amount of information will always be a controversial topic, and there will be members of both sides of the argument. Here you see a list of references I used to obtain my research information. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found my presentation on innovation and access to information via technology to be very helpful.